to el Latino Ruido, mi gente. Yo soy Javier Luis.
Johnny Boricua Prince Dones.
How's
at your
everybody
service.
doing? How's everybody doing?
Todo bien, todo bien.
Todo bien.
Yep, hanging in there.
Hanging in there.
Yep.
How was your weekend?
Normal. Stayed home, watched TV.
Yeah.
Went to the kitchen, came back to watch TV. Got more coffee, came back, watch TV.
You're
I got my
funny.
booster shot yesterday.
How do you feel?
I feel okay. I woke
Yeah.
up a little bit of a headache this morning. Popped 2 Advil and ya estoy bien.
I'm over here just sharing this page on my Facebook so people can join in, chime in. Do we still have the phones, a phone number that we can call in?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the number by heart?
Yeah, they call in and they order a large pizza and they deliver it to here. Oh, no.
Extra cheese, please.
You're
Extra
funny.
cheese. Let me get you the number.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know.
All right.
¿Qué es lo que está pasando aquí?
Estoy busy aquí.
So, so you got the booster, and you said you're feeling okay.
I feel good, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people have problems. Well, it's funny. Friends were telling me that within 24 hours I was going to start feeling it. But no, I just woke up with a
It
small little
depends.
headache.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, un toquecito, and that's it. And
Yeah,
it went away.
A mí no creo que me dio nada.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't even feel it. Because you know me, I'm a big baby taking needles.
No, man. They
She was
stabbed
already
me.
finished, and I'm still talking.
They jabbed the bone in my shoulder. That's what
Oh.
they did.
They stabbed you.
Yeah. That's
Te metieron una
Walgreens. for me.
puñalada.
Yeah. So how was your weekend?
It was good.
It was good?
It was good, yeah.
Good.
Quiet. Still trying to figure this thing out. I can't even get on this thing, man.
Johnny's having issues over here.
You guys don't like me, bro. You got to get rid of his face. That's what it is. You got to put my face on
Oh, he's throwing
it.
jabs.
Let's look at body blow.
So
Shots fired.
La cosa de lo viejo, you know.
La cosa de lo
Hey,
viejo,
listen,
right?
bro. 6 years into AARP, bro. And I'm proud.
You're funny.
You're only
But you're
6 years
young.
old?
Huh? 56.
You're only
You're
6 years old,
56?
right?
56. If I was 60,
you're
bro, it'd be
young.
2 more years in Social Security.
And then they'll change it again to 70.
No.
Because when I was young, it was 55, and then it went to 60 to 65. Now it'll probably go to 70.
No, people were telling me, yo,
I'm
why
never
don't you?
going to reach.
People were telling me, why don't you wait till you're 70? I said, listen, bro, my luck, I'll die the day before I turn 70.
Wow.
So I'm gonna hit 62. I'm gonna get my money. I want to enjoy it. Some of it,
Let's see who's chiming in. Hopefully,
bro. I have
people
no
are
chimes and no ins and nothing.
chiming in.
Mira, ¿qué es lo que pasa aquí?
I'm
I'm not getting anything.
So,
Tag me, bro. Tag me.
so you didn't do anything this weekend? Nah, just
Nah, I don't do much. You know, it's playing with my grandson.
Okay.
You know, went outside to the bodega.
Oh, that's fun.
Only got some paper towels and some coffee.
Yeah.
But that's about it. You know, I got to start, you know, now that it's getting winter, I'm turning into a bear. But once it starts getting warmer again and stuff, I'll get another bike and I'll
Right.
start riding my bike again.
Right.
My brothers and his friends, they kid me all the time. Yeah, we did the 100-mile already a couple of times. You didn't do nothing yet.
Right.
Most I did was like 48.
Okay.
But
okay.
you know, in time, I got to get rid of some of this.
Man, you know what? I
lazy
try to
Corona fat.
return to the. I've been back at the gym. I went to the gym yesterday, but it's something about the winter and it getting darker that kind of like doesn't motivate you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It makes you want to go home because you think that it's already like past 10 o'clock when it's
You're not
only
lying.
4:30.
You're not lying, bro. You're not lying. I was
No
sitting in my house
motivation
the other day,
whatsoever.
And I'm going like this. He goes, man, it's only 6 o'clock.
This is why people get fat over the winter because we don't want to do anything.
Or get with fat people.
Cállate.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro.
Hey, nothing wrong with
Everybody deserves love. Papa, bro,
Right.
help me out over here, man. You see I'm struggling.
that. All right, hold on. Let me tag Johnny here because
Yeah,
he's
man.
having a little
I
issue.
don't know, man. You guys are giving me a bad link.
Johnny Boricua Prince Dones. There you go. I tagged you.
Y no veo nada.
You got the right glasses?
Yeah, I see your face. I see the other dude's face.
He's talking about Alex.
Alex, yeah. That was his name. I forgot his name. But I forget things.
You're funny. Bueno, we got the phone number. Anybody who wants to call with any questions, any comments, the number is 347-640-3920. Again, 347-640-3920. Have you done any Christmas shopping?
No, I don't do Christmas shopping.
No?
No, that's for the family to do.
So you don't do anything? Not for your grandkids, nada?
No, Amazon, bro.
Oh, you
I'm
get
not going out to no
Amazon
malls
Prime?
and stuff. Nah, I'm too old for that, bro.
Well, mijo, you're saying you're too old for everything.
Yeah, that's my excuse.
Okay.
It gets over once in a while.
I hear you.
Is it more people doing virtual gifts?
You know,
'Cause I am.
a lot of people are doing that online shopping for the fact because some friends of mine went to the malls in the Height and
Yeah.
no.
I don't know. I kind of miss that. I kind of miss the physical aspect
I
of
was never
shopping,
one to
being there,
to go.
smelling the Christmas smells that they spray throughout Macy's and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
The
I
decorations.
go to the mall to shop, but I don't buy it. I just look. Okay, then I go to their same site
Yeah.
and get it on their site.
Yeah.
So
For
sometimes
cheaper.
their site is cheaper than
Exactly.
the store.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
You're
I do?
right. You're right.
I used to go shopping. I would go to the store. I'd get $500. I said, listen, divide this up and give me all gift cards.
Yeah.
And I get the
No,
gift
you're
cards
right.
and I did my shopping already.
You're right. I went online on Macy's and I saw a jacket, a bomber jacket, came out with tax and everything, $130.
Really?
Went to Macy's, $300 something.
Whoa.
And I'm like,
Nah,
wait a
nah,
minute.
Macy's online or regular?
No, this was Macy's online.
It was cheaper than the
So
store.
it was cheaper than the store.
We got Reynaldo chiming in. Good evening, Reynaldo.
Reinaldo, ¿cómo está? Un día de esto, we have to have you on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
It's
so-
a long way to walk.
yeah.
Where does he live? He lives around here, right?
A block and a half up.
Oh, man, that's far, bro.
No excuses, Reinaldo. No excuses. And bring some alcapurrias with you while you're at it.
know, right?
Alcapurrias, yeah. He said he got $10 for something. Use that $10 for some alcapurrias and coffee.
You know that I have saved $10. Okay. Traeme un cafecito.
Okay, what do we got? What
So
is the
listen,
agenda
today we are having a special guest. His name is Felipe Maysonet.
Maysonet.
Maysonet or Maysonet? Maysonet.
Both.
Don't argue with
We're
me.
Latinos. You're not a gringo. yeah, it goes either way.
Maysonet. So a
It's
little
like
bit
as
of
long as you call me.
right,
Yeah,
as long as you
don't call
call me.
As long as you don't call me late for dinner.
So a little bit of background on Felipe. Here says he's Puerto Rican descent, also known as Flip. Is the first generation in his family to graduate college with honors, recently obtaining his Associate of Arts degree in Communications with a concentration in public relations. His passion for stories, people, podcast, radio, and the arts is where he finds his freedom and escape. Having over 12 years as a production assistant, stage designer, actor, and model, Flip certainly has the charisma, grit, and experience to bring innovation in any and all spaces. Let's not forget his sleek, urban, and versatile fashion. That's what I'm talking
Alright.
about.
Mira, sorry to interrupt you, but Reynaldo just reminded us today is World AIDS Day.
World AIDS Day,
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
All
today's
right.
World AIDS Day. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yo no sabía. Gracias, Reynaldo.
Yeah, so Felipe wears many hats and prides himself in being a Latinx advocate and activist for the LGBTQ plus community, Black Lives Matter, women's right, and the disability community. And I love one of his quotes that he has here is, one has to respect media communication for it's the gateway to endless knowledge and power.
Absolutely, I like that. I read
Nice.
that. Yes, I
Nice,
did.
nice, nice. So we're gonna have him on in a few minutes, but let's talk about World AIDS Day. World AIDS Day is a celebration. Is this still this is not considered a pandemic, AIDS or an epidemic?
And,
Is it still?
No, because they
Well,
couldn't
you
make money
can
off
lead a
of it.
life.
They what?
They couldn't make money off of it, so they didn't make it a
Man, they're
pandemic.
still making
Yeah,
shitload of money off of it.
You're not lying.
It's still an epidemic.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so.
Yeah.
But it's not
It
like
is.
the death sentence.
No, it's
it
not.
Was before.
It's not. It's not.
Because once you were diagnosed with AIDS, bro, right?
Yeah.
Start making the arrangements. You know.
Yeah.
But people live lives and they're able to live productive lives and
Yeah.
with all the medicines and the cocktails you take and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah.
Pero
Yeah, this is a day in honor of those that have passed on. I have a
Yes.
few friends that have
yes,
passed on
I
from
have
this.
A few friends also.
Vinci, I'll just say first names. Vinci, Sergio, Ricardo. My God, I'm sure
The
a
list
couple of
goes on
other
and on,
people. It
yeah.
goes on and on.
Yeah.
And I remember a moment where we actually did a quilt. Remember the time of the quilt?
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did a
nice.
quilt for my friend Ricardo. He was so smart, so intelligent. College, going for his master's. He was an advocate also. Oh my God, good-looking guy.
Wow.
Just ate him up, you know. But you know
that
what?
eats you up really quick too.
He was my dance partner. We used to go dancing all
Wow.
the time.
Wow.
Yeah. Pero you know
We
what?
lost a lot of good people,
We
man.
lost a lot of good
Yeah,
people, and the fight's not over.
No, it's not. No, it's
Fight's not
No,
over,
it's
but
not.
we've made lots of progress. Lots of progress. Again, this is a disease that people are maintaining now, as opposed to dying from.
Right.
There's no longer AIDS wards. There's new medication for those who are HIV positive and for those who are HIV negative. What I mean by that is that there's a medication called PrEP. I'm sure many of you know about this, which are for people who want to have, who choose to have relations with their partners without the condom, but that medication protects them. And I actually know a few couples, heterosexual couples, where one is positive, one is negative, and the negative partner has maintained negative for years. Not just because of the PrEP, but because the HIV positive individual has remained undetectable with their medication. So that's very important. So that's double protection right there.
Is that the before pill?
The
Because I heard of a pill that they said that you
That's a
take
prophylactic when somebody is exposed but they're not on PrEP. So
Right.
they have about 72 hours to go into a
Okay.
clinic and get on that
Wow.
pill
much of a
before it
window?
actually starts to develop within
Right.
the, what is it, the hidden cell, there's a something cell that, God, I studied this a long time ago.
Well,
Well, we're not a science.
I know,
talk,
right?
No, before it just starts consuming you.
It'll come to me. Anyway,
So that means the female will have to take 2 pills, right?
why is that?
The
Shut up. I got you. I got you. I got you. And I mean, we even go even
Hey,
further.
my brother Manny, what's up, Papa? All the way from North
Yeah,
Kakalaki.
let's say hello to some people.
Brother
Manny, ¿qué pasa, my brother?
Yeah, my brother.
Rising Phoenix, Poli, ¿qué pasa? So, even further that babies are now born negative from a positive mother.
Wow, that's interesting.
Because of the pill, one. And two, it is safer to do a C-section so that they don't come through the canal and,
Yeah, infect the canal.
get
whatever,
the
yeah.
blood on them or whatever. But it's, C-section is
placenta.
it's easier.
wow.
So, yeah, for a long time, there has not been a HIV positive baby from what we've heard. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, so, I'm not going to say happy World AIDS Day because there's nothing
No,
happy
we'll
about
just
this
say it's
occasion.
World AIDS
It's
Day.
just in honor of those that have passed on.
Right. And you honor the ones that are battling it, and you pray for them, and
Yeah.
we keep making strides to
Yeah,
try
yeah.
and defeat this thing.
Yeah. Hope they find something quick, like they
I
found
hope so, man. But it's
the vaccine for this coronavirus.
honestly, they should have had one already.
Oh yeah. You know what?
I strongly believe there is a cure.
There is a cure. We believe that.
Of course, because
There's a lot of conspiracies out there.
if you look at it, what is the biggest moneymaker in this country, or in the world for that matter?
A patch.
The pharmaceutical industry.
Of
Yeah,
course.
the patch.
If that
The
falls,
patch.
Yeah, all the medicine
world
I call
economy
it a patch.
dies.
The patch, yeah.
It's trillions of dollars.
Of course.
Trillions of dollars. Just imagine they come up with an AIDS cure. Now what they're going to do with the cocktails and all this stuff and everything, no more money.
And a lot of people will
They'll
lose
invent
their
a new one.
jobs, or they will have to be repositioned somewhere else.
Exactly.
Because you have case managers,
Yeah.
you have directors of the HIV programs. So, but with all that said, we should still find a cure. Now, do you remember years ago there was a story, and I don't have specific dates and their names. It was two scientists, HIV/AIDS specialists, husband and wife. They came this close to a cure. They had their suitcase with them with a bunch of
Wait a
information,
minute, I think I might have heard that.
and their plane went down.
Wow.
Their
the AIDS
plane,
one, right?
yeah, their
Yeah.
plane with a bunch of scientists researching
Wow.
AIDS. That plane with all those scientists went down,
Mm-hmm.
and there's talk that was a deliberate act.
Yeah, because they were going behind the backs of FCC,
Yeah,
and they found the cure.
They
and were
found the
coming
cure,
here
yep.
to show it, and they never made it.
yeah,
You never reveal your hand, man.
yeah. You got to be quiet about this.
You gotta
whole
come
thing.
here and do it and be secure. You throw it out there.
Gotcha.
Pero, you live and learn, and a lot of knowledge just went.
Yeah.
A lot of knowledge.
Who else is here? Nathan Thomas is watching. ¿Qué pasa, Nathan?
I don't have any friends.
Hey guys, all is good in North Carolina.
Yep, that's Manny. North Kakalaki, living the high life.
Yeah. So I mean, I started doing some Christmas shopping, going back to shopping online. which,
Okay.
I just bought a couple of items online.
I think I might just do that. Just maybe tomorrow. You tell me.
But I'm shopping on a budget.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Too bad they don't take EBT.
They do.
Yeah, but only for food, not for.
Yeah.
not
No,
for-
I heard EBT people using their cards as cash. If anybody has EBT, oh well, now I don't want everybody to throw
Yeah,
their
right.
stuff out there.
Wait, they could.
They're
They
gonna
have
be
to.
knocking-
know
they're gonna be
someone.
knocking on
They have
the
to
door soon.
withdraw it from the ATM or something like that,
Yeah,
right? Right.
or they can use it because
Well,
I seen
the
the
A-
store say EBT, food and cash. So I'm
Oh, okay.
assuming they can use it.
Right.
Well, it's not
don't
like the
know.
physical coupons we used to get in the libro. You open up the $5 libro, take out that one, the $10 one, take out that one.
What do you mean,
It's
the
a card
brown?
now.
The brown? The brown and the blue? Throw my here, take this
Yeah,
green. And
That's
Bro, I used to
funny.
hate that. My mother would send us to the store with coupons. My
But-
brother Nelson, bro, no le importaba, bro.
No, no.
Mommy, give me,
you
I'll
know what's
take
so
it.
funny? Why did we used to get embarrassed when the whole block had coupons?
I know.
Yeah.
But you know, there was
And we
always
slide it like it was
no,
drugs.
there was always that one that had $1 from his uncle that came during the weekend, and we go to the store and I'm with coupons and he got $1.
Yeah.
Ah,
Nah.
I got $1. You got coupons.
No,
ah.
the embarrassing part is when you had to be in front of the cashier and rip it off. The sound of the rip.
¿Dónde está el libro? Give me the-
I was like,
Damn,
oh my
hurry
God.
up.
You know how many
Hurry
times I went? You know how many times I went with the actual billete and without the book, and the guy said, "La próxima vez me trae el libro."
Yeah.
because they gotta tear it out.
Yeah, they
had
want to
tear
put
it
the
out.
microphone to the chair so
Yeah.
everybody can hear it.
No, but
That's-
what about the note? You slide the little note, and they're talking about give me a gallon of milk and pay you Friday. You be like,
Yeah.
I hope nobody heard, right? And real loud, he be like, mira, Alisa, hijo de Elizabeth, dale un leche ahí el viernes, ¿verdad?
Apúntaselo,
Damn,
apúntalo,
all
apúntalo.
loud, like-
Yo, that's the culture. That's the
Yeah,
culture.
yeah.
I didn't want nobody to know.
That's
You
the
got to walk
culture.
up.
But I remember we used to have that. I don't know if you had it. He lived in 875.
Okay.
I forgot his name, and he used to come around and he would take the orders for like the school clothes, the underwear, the socks, the sneakers, the pants, the shirts, all that stuff. And you would come on every week and $2 pesos aquí, $2 pesos allá, $2 pesos ahí, and we would get all our clothes. And we used to go to summer camp, Fresh Air Fun.
Yeah.
We always got new clothes.
I hear that. I hear
Yeah, I
that.
was a Fresh Air Fun kid.
So listen, mi gente, we are going to take a short commercial break and we will be back with Felipe Maysonet. So don't
yes.
go anywhere.
As mighty armies clash in a struggle for total domination, the scales can be tipped by one man who has the courage to confront his fate and make a choice that will decide the fate of the world.
Guys put a lot of smoke in today. Wow. But anyway, we expecting a real superhero? I don't think so. The real life superheroes are the ones that are helping out in their community today. And the LDM show will be there to bring you the events and stories to life. Do you know a real superhero? Let us know. But for now, follow us on Instagram and Twitter and like us on Facebook. Also visit our websites for photos, videos, and updates. But until the meantime, hey, I gotta be out of here.
Welcome back to Latino Ruido. I am Javier Luis, Johnny Borica Prince, and we have our guest Felipe Maysonet. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome. Pleasure seeing you.
So let's have talk. Let's have some conversation. Who is Felipe Maysonet? Get a little closer so people could actually hear you. And
I guess, wow, that's a big question. But I just would say a person who's loving and caring and cares about his community and is just here to be the voice for the voiceless.
okay.
I like that. The voice for the voiceless.
I like
That's
that.
good, that's good.
So
Absolutely.
you, according to your bio, you're an advocate, you're an educator. I guess you already answered the question. You want to be the voice for the voiceless. When did you start? What was your inspiration?
Chacho, my mother actually. May she
Okay.
rest in peace. I lost my mom at 16 years old. Ironically, to AIDS complications. So I definitely understand, what that whole experience entails.
Right.
However, she was a strong advocate for HIV and AIDS, and she also was a feminist. And my mother was real old school Boricua.
Right.
So she raised us boys to just really be involved with our community. So my first AIDS walk I was 8 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, and it started from there.
Right,
And,
okay.
and yeah.
All right. Wow. That's great. That's great. Let's why don't we jump into systemic racism? It seems like it's one of your passions.
Yes.
In the school system, in the workplace.
Yes.
It's basically everywhere.
It's everywhere. But talk to us, the audience. What is systemic racism?
Well, systemic racism is racism within multiple systems. Systems in the government, systems in institutions.
Right.
Pretty much anywhere where there'll be any kind of rules or people commuting together. So systemic racism basically is deeply rooted in prejudice, and it involves, systemic racism involves institutional racism, and which involves poverty, lack of resources, and pretty much how they keep people of color from receiving the resources that they need.
Right. Have you ever experienced racism? Yeah.
Absolutely. Specifically in institutions.
Okay.
Being a Latinx cis gay man, sometimes I didn't always fit into the gay narrative, right?
Right.
Okay.
And so on TV, many times you see effeminate men, or just kind of how gay people are portrayed on television and in the media.
Right.
But the reality is that I am in touch with my feminine side, however,
Right.
but I do have masculine ways too. So it just seems as if though if I didn't fit the gay narrative, many times people would either feel kind of intimidated or threatened.
Right.
In other words, they say you're not acting gay.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it's like when they say you don't act black. I said, how are we supposed to act?
Yeah.
Right.
From what I understand, a gay person is a human being.
Exactly.
You're a
Right.
regular person, whether you're flamboyant or you're not.
Exactly.
Right.
And,
You know?
and be you.
We come in all sizes.
Right. In all styles.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I just think it's a matter of embracing that and
Right.
breaking down the stereotypes of the LGBTQ community, because we all come in all shapes and forms. So
Right.
yes,
Right.
I've dealt with that.
But I've seen the biggest thing is they tend to berate, if for lack of a better term, the flamboyant ones. You go, see, that's you don't have to act that way, but that's not what a gay person is. Oh.
Right.
You'd be surprised
Right.
who is gay.
Right. You'd be surprised.
Look at in entertainment, in the sports world.
Yeah.
In wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling's
a big one.
What?
Wrestling's a big
Because
one.
you got to touch. You're all over the person.
No, but we're everywhere.
Exactly, exactly.
And so what if a person is feminine? What happens is, culturally, hypermasculinity, especially in the Latinx community, many of us are taught to really beat down femininity.
Right.
We tend to talk to our kids, or a lot of Latinx parents tend to talk to their kids and really teach them that femininity is a bad thing.
Right.
And, there is power in femininity. I was raised by a woman who, essentially raised powerful, strong, good men with morals and ethics, right? And God forbid you have morals and ethics in these days, right?
Right.
So I stand confident that whether you're feminine or masculine or in the paradigm, right?
Right.
It's okay. It's just people have an issue with just accepting people for who they are.
You know what it is? A lot of it is a lot of the old school men. The man is the man of the house, and you can't show feminism. You can't show that because to them it was a sign of weakness.
You can't cry.
No, you can't cry. If you're gonna cry, you better not do it when anyone
Right.
see you.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
And
yes.
not me.
Right.
I'm a little pendejo, bro. I cried at Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Well, that's the toxic masculinity that also kind of perpetuates the stereotypes and the stigmas
Absolutely.
against people in the LGBTQ. So automatically, if you're gay, you know, you're feminine, or even they'll go as far as calling you a molester, a pedophile.
Right.
Exactly.
And these are such strong and destructive words, right? Because they just continue on breaking down people instead of elevating them.
Right.
Exactly.
Words are powerful.
And words are
You
powerful.
know the thing with the ignorance
Yeah.
regarding that? He goes, the ignorance is bliss. He goes, oh, you're contagious. Contagious of what?
Yeah.
You know, it's
You know,
Stupidity is contagious.
Stupid too.
It's very stupid.
Stupidity is contagious.
Because
Ignorant.
exactly what it is. And you have people who don't want to learn about it
Right.
because they fear, oh, now I want to be one.
Right.
You don't just turn gay.
Right.
You know, it's
Right.
not like you say you're flipping a flapjack.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gay now. No,
Right,
it doesn't
right.
work that way.
No.
It was within you when you discovered it.
I always say there's 50 shades of gay. You know, there is no black and white. You have your gay community. You have your bisexual community. You
Right.
have men who don't like to be labeled. You have women who don't like to be labeled. There are men who say, I love who I love.
Exactly.
Leave the labels out. You know, so there's different shades of gay.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, but under the umbrella of systemic racism, you being a Puerto Rican, well, we're all a Puerto Rican panel right here.
Boricua Nation, Boricua Nation.
I need to make sure we say that.
This
Hoy
is
se ve.
right. Hoy se bebe. That's how it starts, though.
Exactly. Viene social.
So, I mean, as far as experiencing racism because of who we are, like you mentioned institutional racism.
Yes.
Like one experience that I've noticed, and I've at work, and I won't mention the name of my job, but when it comes to certain positions, all you see is people of color. You don't see a white person.
Oh,
Okay.
we know that.
You know?
We know exactly
What,
what,
the
their
dishwasher?
position is.
Well, yeah, that's one.
Dishwasher, el limpiador, you
Yeah.
know, the janitorial
Yeah.
services.
Right.
Stuff like,
Cook.
even though you make some good money, janitor,
yeah,
but,
yeah.
but still,
But you know
have-
why that is, right?
You have that stigma.
Because, you know, when a Puerto Rican gets a job, they be like, you got to open it, espérate. Yo, primo, come real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
We
hurry
give
up.
jobs
Bring your
to our
social security
family.
card.
Be like, yo, trae your social
Yeah.
go.
But
Yeah.
there's something to be said about that even when
Right.
it comes to
Right.
white folk, right? And white people, right? A lot of unions only look out for their own.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
That is
That's
correct.
As myself, who worked in production and in media, I've tried really hard to be part of the union,
that's the SAG, right?
and many others, right?
Oh, there are more unions.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought, well, SAG is
there's
like the
grip,
biggest one.
And there's also grip, right?
Okay.
You need to be a grip guy, and they have their union too.
Well, that's true. That's true. Different.
So,
yeah. Okay.
yeah.
different facets.
And it's difficult because, I mean, granted, they're going to take care of their kids or their
absolutely.
nephews, but when you see a majority of white people and you're the only Spanish person in the setting, and that's happened to me many a times,
Right.
working in media and as a professional, I was the only Puerto Rican in the group,
Right.
or I was the only gay person in the group.
Oh, Puerto
And
Rican
that
and
you
gay,
knew
bro.
of.
Oh, well, that I
That
knew
you
of.
know, yeah.
Right, or that was out with it.
Right.
Right,
Exactly.
right,
But
right.
that's the intersectionality, right?
Right,
Right.
right.
Exactly.
These things are not always, independent. These things really have a connection to
Right.
each other.
Oh
Right,
yes,
right,
absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, systemic racism is deep rooted, and we could go on and on because I mean, I was saying like what you said, environmental services is all people of color.
Absolutely.
At my job,
Right.
Food and nutrition, the cooks, the people that deliver the food to the patient, all
Yep.
people of color.
Housekeeping.
You know, and-
Caribbean
Yeah.
women and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that a friend of mine was introduced. Somebody who actually has a bachelor's in science and finance
Wow.
was called and was interviewed to deliver food. And I'm like, okay, strike
Wow.
number one.
Absolutely.
And then he didn't get it, but then I ran into somebody who works in food nutrition, and I asked her, you know, what's this? Why didn't they call him? Blah, blah, blah. He says, look, it's a good thing he didn't get it because he's too smart. They don't want smart people. They want
No.
people who are problematic,
They
who
wanna
have a
keep you dumb.
record.
Exactly.
You know, they don't want smart people who's going to stand up for themselves.
No.
You keep them docile and they'll do whatever they do. Oh, be glad you got a paycheck.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't work that way.
Although, because of the systems, people are afraid,
Yes.
right?
Right.
People are scared. And these are the issues because it's systemic violence, institutional violence, for example, anytime you have an opportunity to do something, so for example, I was in school and I applied for a journalist position,
Okay.
right? And I worked really hard, and I did everything I thought I was supposed to do.
Right.
Checked off all the boxes, had all the proper meetings, and everything was set forth for me to be part of this column. And,
Okay.
and unfortunately, I was ignored. After weeks and weeks of sending emails and trying to understand why my work wasn't reflected,
Right.
all I got was, I'm busy.
Yeah.
And this was from a white person in leadership.
Wow.
And so when the power dynamics are, this person has control of whether or not I get to be seen, that's a volatile and a violent situation.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because now I don't get the recognition,
Right.
right? It may be a little bit harder for me to find a job as a media communication specialist in high networks like, say, CBS, NBC, or Univision, because
Exactly.
Right.
I need a resume.
Right.
Right, and you don't have one.
And well,
You're trying
I
to
have
get, no,
it,
but I'm saying you're trying to build it, but they're not allowing you to.
and I have it, and it just seems as though I got to do work twice as
Yeah, of
much
course,
as
yes.
white people
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
to be acknowledged
Right.
in spaces. And
Right.
that's why I say do your best as Latinos, as people of color, black people, to put yourself in spaces that people don't want you in.
Right.
Even if it means a la mala. And by a la mala, I don't mean in a bad way. I
No,
mean,
don't choke somebody out.
no, what I mean is know your shit.
Right.
Absolutely,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Know
Right.
who
right.
you are.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Right.
And
If you're gonna come, you better come armed.
right
with
and-
your knowledge.
with your knowledge and your expertise and
Right.
and your resume. 'Cause
Absolutely,
ain't nobody
absolutely.
could deny the work that you do.
No.
Right.
And I that's my biggest thing too, is encouraging people, young people of color, to be confident.
Right.
And know who you are as an
Know your
individual.
worth, exactly.
Know your worth. And it's
Right.
okay to say, I'm here
Right.
and you have to see me.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That's it.
And you know, and the Latinx community, like for example, when the government was overthrown in Puerto Rico because of they thought that he stole the money that was sent over there from Maria.
Right.
Who's taken to the streets? It's the young generation now.
That's
They're the
right.
ones who are fighting for everything that is right or was hidden back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our parents,
absolutely.
they did what they could.
Yes.
Our grandparents did what. But who do you see on the streets? It's the young ones
And-
who are political and they're out there fighting
And you
for
know
the
what
right.
the sad thing is? I see this a lot on TikTok. So now that's lo mío now, TikTok.
TikTok.
And you see they show, oh, look at them, they're protesting everything. Why don't they get a job and make it better? I said, hello, doof. They're fighting, protesting to get jobs to make
Right.
it better.
Right.
You know, and people don't see that.
Yeah.
And these are the ones that are not Latino or
Right.
people of color,
Right, right.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're fighting
And
to
they're
make
the
a
ones
change.
That always say that there isn't systemic racism because they don't feel it.
No.
Because if it doesn't affect me, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But once it starts affecting you, that's what we gotta do. We gotta make it affect them.
Right.
Then they're like, oh, wait a minute.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Which is why they say, support black businesses, support Latino
Absolutely.
businesses.
Exactly.
Put your money there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the bad thing. A lot of people make it and they leave the community. And they leave the community by itself.
Well, what happens is that there's the redlining.
Right.
That also.
That's the structural racism, right?
Right.
Or the inequality where they'll change the zip code and make one area.
Zoning. Yeah, you're right.
The zoning.
You're right.
So what happens is that people start to lose jobs because white people move out of the neighborhoods
Mm-hmm.
and they leave only a little bit of resources for black and brown people. And then black and brown people got to fight for these resources.
Right.
So when you put people with poverty and maybe mental health issues and lack of resources, you're gonna get chaos.
Right.
Yes.
And this is intentional and purposeful with systemic racism.
Right.
And which is why it kind of shocks me that we're still dealing with laws and policies that were created back in the 1700s, 1800s.
Yeah.
Right.
It's insane.
Right,
So
right.
that's why it's important for young people to keep fighting,
Right.
which I'm so proud of.
Yeah.
But
Right.
for also for older folks, you know, to keep an open mind and realize that this generation is the generation that is really gonna break
Right.
things.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Right.
You know, and it's happening. You
Gonna
know,
raise the
see it.
roof.
Yeah, raise the roof. You see it at the back of
And my brother Manny, he goes, I'm glad that we were raised in the projects. We had all types of people living within the same complex, and we all got along. No one said that this is Fulano, my black friend from the 4th floor, or whatever. He goes, no, this is Fulano from the 4th floor, and Harv from the 865, and this.
Right.
We didn't know race.
Right.
We didn't know what racism was because we all got along.
Right.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's
Right.
true.
No, all of these are excellent points. And again, it goes back to, and I don't want to get racist, but it goes back to white power. That's what
Absolutely.
it goes back to. And
Listen,
we were
that's,
having,
that's the elephant in the room. We have to address
yeah,
it.
and we were talking about, me and Felipe were talking about yesterday because we were brushing up on our, and we were talking about a situation that happened in Puerto Rico. 'Cause Puerto Rico has gone through a lot of experiments,
Oh,
right?
We know that.
A lot of experiences. So one of the things that I brought up was the fact that I have some information here. Back in the 1930s, there was an oncologist who actually did a residency in Puerto Rico, in San Juan, Presbyterian in San Juan, and he actually was an oncologist for the hospital I work for now.
Wow.
Okay, so this individual deliberately injected cancer cells in Puerto Ricans because they were doing an experiment.
We were the guinea pigs.
Yeah, and he referred to the islanders as animals. And I got some information here. I'll read you some. You guys hang on while I read this. While working for the Rockefeller Institute in 1931, Rose was invited by hematologist William B. Castle to join his Rockefeller Anemia
Well, I did read that.
Commission to conduct clinical research at Presbyterian Hospital in San Juan, Puerto Rico. It goes on. In Puerto Rico, the Rockefeller Group had more than 200 patients. Historian and ethicist Susan E. Lederer notes that while referred to as patients, they were primarily clinical subjects whose conditions were studied to advance medical research because of the effects of anemia and the suspicion that tropical sprue was related to diet. Rose experimentally controlled patients' diets. Lederer notes that in the letters from this time, Rose referred to his patients as experimental animals.
Wow.
What? And there was a party that he attended. Yeah, what?
Yeah.
There was a party that he attended in Puerto Rico. And after the party, he came to his car and found that his car was vandalized. He was drunk. He was pissed, whatever. Went home and wrote a letter to one of his colleagues. That letter was discovered by someone in Puerto Rico, and it was reported to the Times, I believe.
Yeah.
And this is what he writes. I mean, I'm not going to read the whole letter, but I'm going to get to the juice of the letter. He writes, Dear Freddie, the situation is settled in Boston. Parker and Niall are to run the laboratory together, and either Kenneth and McMahon to be assistant, the chief to stay on. As far as I can see, the chances of my getting a job in the next 10 years are absolutely nil.
Wow.
One is certainly not encouraged to make a scientific advances when it is handicapped rather than an aid to achievement. I can get a damn job fine here, and am tempted to, and I am tempted to take it. It would be ideal except for the Puerto Ricans. They are beyond doubt the dirtiest, laziest, most degenerated, and thievish race of men ever inhabiting the sphere.
Wow.
It makes you sick to inhabit the same island with them. They are even lower than Italians.
Oh,
What the island needs is not public health work, but a tidal wave or something to totally exterminate the population. It might then be livable. I have done my best to further the process of extermination by killing off 8 and transplanting cancer cells into several more. The latter has not resulted in any fatalities so far. The matter of consideration for patients' welfare plays no role here. In fact, all physicians take delight in the abuse and torture of the unfortunate subjects. Do let me know if you hear any more news. Sincerely,
Wow.
Dusty. They called him Dusty because he's dusty.
Because he is dusty.
So
Wow.
anyway, just wanted to share that piece of
That
information.
is-
So talk about systemic racism. It all starts up
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
it
Oh, yeah,
trickles down.
absolutely,
Yeah.
It
absolutely.
trickles down.
It had to start from somewhere.
And
it didn't start from us.
this man had power.
Yes, you
He
can
had
see.
power.
What was that?
know-
What was it called? That experiment where they sterilized the Puerto Rican women?
Yeah, I remember that.
No. The Tuskegee was here.
No, the 60,
I
yeah.
forgot what the name of it was in Puerto Rico, but they if anybody knows out there, let me know.
The Taino women, right? Yeah.
And no, this was even in the 50s, 40s, 50s, I believe. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Let's give a few shout outs. People are chiming in here.
Joseph Washington, Bianca Adorno,
Yeah.
Carmen. What's up, Carmen?
Bianca Adorno,
That's my
yes,
niece.
your word.
Oh, Gothlin.
Who, Bianca's your niece?
Bianca's
Bianca,
my niece.
welcome.
Hey, Bianca.
Welcome. Carmen Vasquez, hi guys. Joseph
Brother
Washington.
Joseph.
Hey,
Jojo.
Joseph, thank you for chiming in. Manny, they should make PR a state. That's another topic.
Yeah.
That's
You
a
know
whole
what?
other show.
That might be the only way
Yeah.
for them.
Bianca says, I never knew that. It breaks my heart. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Joseph says, he hope he's right. And he is. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
He is.
There's a special place for him.
Manny, a beautiful island. It absolutely, regardless
is.
of what we've gone through, Puerto Rico is resilient.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
But one thing, I want all of y'all to go on Google and say, okay, Google, and say, what human has the perfect DNA?
Oh, we do.
Exactly. It's going to tell you. The
Like-
Puerto Rican woman.
Carmen says, what's up? So listen, let's talk
right.
about mental health.
Before you jump into mental
Yeah.
health, since you were speaking about all that,
Yeah.
with all that said, I better not see one Puerto Rican that opens up a business and only deals with the white people.
You're going to see a lot of them.
Well,
And that's the main problem.
Right.
well,
Yeah.
that's
Be-
colorism too.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
the main
Yeah.
problem we're having because like I said, I'm married to a Filipino, right? My Filipino family has done more for us with my business and everything else than the Puerto Rican side family. We don't have that,
Cohesive,
family
yeah.
cohesive
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
if I'm making $1 million, let me go now hire my brother to do some of the job. No.
Right.
Your brother can have the highest education, but you'll go to someone else.
Right.
And that's the one thing that I always hate. And that word is
But you know,
big, so I got to use it.
it goes-
always hate when it comes to the Latin people.
It goes
We're
back
not-
to that saying, don't borrow money from family.
Right.
¿Me entiendes?
Yeah, but you're
Don't
not.
employ somebody from family. Listen, I strongly believe in nepotism. I don't care. If I got a business and you're my brother and you got skills, bang.
Yeah,
Right.
if
I'm gonna
it's,
give you a job.
Right.
Or here's something and go do your own store.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Right.
Exactly.
They don't do
we
that.
Gotta, we
The
gotta
Indians
uplift
do
each
it.
other. We talk a great game.
Right.
It's time to put the talk into
Exactly.
the actual
Right.
physicality of that game.
Let's stop blaming everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's look at the root of the.
I mean-
we already know the problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do a solution about it. Because
That's right.
I hear problems since I was young.
Yeah.
But I don't really hear no one
Yeah.
saying a solution.
Yeah. And I dare say.
Yeah. Also, my brother was. I forgot that my sister-in-law Nivea. She teaches a mental health class
Okay.
with what is that? Mommy.
Well, mommy.
Well, mommy's
Oh,
not here,
Nami.
man.
No, he said Nami at the
Nami.
end.
Nami. Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, bye. Too much of that North Carolina air.
I lost my
But yeah,
train of
she
thought.
deals.
I was gonna
She
say
also
something.
she's
Yeah.
a big advocate also of mental health also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Felipe,
Yeah.
since you were in that group, how do you feel about that? Like you be seeing all the because we're in the media as well,
Right,
and I
right.
see where white people or Indians be like, hey, they have a good story, and they'll give it to their family. Latinos be like, hey, I got a good story. They're gonna give it to someone else. They won't even, you know what I mean?
You know what it
How
is?
do you react to that?
Oh, go ahead. No, you're the one who has more experience in this than I do.
No, I just think that it's for me it varies on the individual, right? I think that culturally we've been broken down as a culture, right? So there's a lot of division and separation in the Latinx and in the Black community. And the reason why I say Latinx and Black is because a lot of Latinx people are Black.
Right.
I
Right.
like to consider myself part Black
Yes.
because I have Taino and European
I'm with
blood.
you. I'm with you.
I understand my privilege as a light-skinned Spanish dude, right? But I'm also a man of color, and I'm Boricua. So what I find is that we're starving to be successful, and there's a lot of pressures in society to be el hombre de la casa, the
Right.
supporter, the
Right.
person that has to give his family, and women too, especially Black women and Puerto Rican women, because a lot of them are single. Why? Because, again, there's separation in the family. So I say since slavery all the way down to now, white culture, Anglo-Saxon culture, has played a major part in the division of the Latinx and black families. And we tend to take that trauma and put it on each other instead of understanding that the beef isn't with each other. It's in the system that
Right.
has been built to keep us fighting and keep us, you know,
keeping us
keeping
distracted, fighting each other so that we don't go this way.
Yeah.
They keep us over here. And the thing is, in my opinion,
Yeah.
they keep us fighting because that's the only thing we know how to do. That's the easy part, to fight.
Right.
The hard part is to go out there and fight for it.
Right.
Right.
We can fight each other,
Right.
but to fight for it and,
Right.
and pa pelear para lo tuyo,
Sí.
we gotta find a way on how to do that. Even if we could just help one person,
Yeah.
because that one person can morph into more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
We gotta show them the path.
Right.
Because if we don't have a path, they're not going to go anywhere. They're going to stay
Right.
in the same place.
Right.
And that's the hard part, showing the
You know
path.
what's so funny, because I went, we go to Philippines a lot.
Right.
I went to the Philippines. Of course, you're going to see all Filipino. I went to the mall and I seen one Spanish guy there. He looked at me, I looked at him, and the first thing he said, Spanish? Yeah. Ay, ¿cómo está?
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, why can't we react like that even if in the areas
Yeah.
of full of Spanish?
Yeah.
We're
Exactly.
supposed to be seeing each other, be like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, you know,
The entities around us that tend to get in the way of us accepting one another. 'Cause
Right.
That's the thing too. Like, we always got to play this thing where, like, I'm the boss, right? Or I'm the man, right? So it's about power. But who teaches us about power and what it means to be powerful?
Right.
None of us are rich here. None of us are white. None of us own a conglomerate. So,
That's right.
you know, all those things, again, in the sociological setting, plays a part on our psyches. And that's where we go into the mental health part.
Right.
Because all the trauma, all the beef, all that
Right.
causes mental health issues.
yeah, and
Well-
what it is, and they break us down.
Let's talk about mental health. Especially with the Latinx community, with the Hispanic community, with the people of color.
Yeah.
How hard is it for people of color to have resources to mental health?
Especially
Or is it
now.
accessible?
Especially
Yes.
now. Okay, so I have a learning disability.
Right.
I have ADHD, and it took me a very long time to get fully diagnosed correctly. As a kid, I was considered a nene malo, the bad kid, the one who couldn't stay still.
El que
always
lleva
distracted.
correazo.
And in
Yeah.
school, that was an issue because I was smart,
Right.
creative.
Right.
I just didn't know that I literally had a disability.
Right.
So here I am, a grown man, now finally in my 30s, almost 40, and I'm taking charge of my mental health. But I was trying to get an appointment to see a provider. I had an initial evaluation about 2 months ago. It's been 2 months, and I'm finally seeing one tomorrow after, again, 1,000 emails, calling call centers, begging them like, yo, are you guys gonna call me? Are we not gonna have this conversation? I need services.
Right.
I'm calling you guys. I want to set a schedule. Or call this number. Call this number. You know why? Because we don't have the access.
Right.
No.
It's already bad in New York because of COVID.
Yes.
So we've lost a lot of people in the medical field.
Right.
You know, which I'm fully grateful for, and I want to just say thank you to all our medical providers
Right.
and essential workers.
Yes.
But you know, when we don't have that already, and then now we're trying to actually get it,
Right.
those things only exacerbate it because
Right.
it was frustrating for me. I'm telling you, I was doing my best to stay patient, doing my best to remain calm, but I'm in need.
Right. Right. Right.
You know, and so. Yes, mental health
But you know,
is a serious issue.
It's funny
in
when
the
when
Bronx
when
Yeah.
we need all of these resources and whatnot, then people say, "Oh, look, he's needy. He wants handouts." I go, no. It's not a handout. It's a hand up.
Yeah.
You know, help me.
Yeah.
It's like that old saying, the old cliche saying.
Yeah.
You give a man a fish, he eats one day. You
Right.
teach him how to fish, he eats for
Right,
life.
right,
You know?
right, right.
And the thing is, we have to find that medium because you know how Latinos and people of color, whatever, once you bang them on the head too many times, they're going to say, you know what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Keep doing my hustle stuff. We got to find a way. We got to uplift each other. We got to stop beating each other down.
Right.
And the thing is, every non-Latino and person of color is sitting there going like this. What should we do? They're going to kill each other anyway.
Yeah.
Look at them. They're killing each other.
So, I mean, piggybacking off of what you said, how would you react if you noticed a close friend of yours, a family member, needed mental health attention, and how would you even start that dialogue? How would you approach it? Because it's very sensitive.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stigma behind
Very
it.
There's a lot of
sensitive.
stigmas. You know, in the Latin community, Latinx community, you hear, "Ella loco," "Ella loca," or "I don't need that," or "I've been through it my
Yep.
whole life, so and I never needed a therapist."
Oh, that's a big one.
Yes.
That's
yes.
a big one I heard.
Yeah.
I got it
Yeah.
under control.
I know I got it under control.
Yeah.
And the reality is that no, you don't.
Nope.
Right, right.
And I think we all can honestly say that
Absolutely.
we face issues and challenges.
Right.
And no one here is a psychologist and even they are human,
Right.
right? And need to seek mental health services.
So you look like-
So when it comes,
Right.
yeah.
No,
so-
finish it.
So when it comes to really addressing people with mental health services, for one, they have to feel like they're in a safe space.
Right.
Yes.
This whole idea that you say you need to see a doctor and you having issues, that's not the approach.
That's not the approach, right.
I would take is I'm concerned about you.
Right.
I've been noticing that, you're not the same.
Right.
Could I help you?
Yeah.
But not just saying that, but actually being intentional and purposeful
Right.
about helping that individual.
Being present,
He
right.
goes, bang, I'll take you.
Right.
I'll go with you.
I'll go, and here's the number.
Exactly.
Here's the address. And when you're free, avísame. Let me know so I could
Yeah.
go with you.
And
Doesn't
then-
mean that you're gonna.
You know what the big thing is also?
Yeah.
Oh, llámalo por mí.
Yeah, no. No, that's old school.
You want me there with
mindset.
you? Call, make your appointment and stuff, and I guarantee you what I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be there with you. I'll be there holding your hand, lo que sea. If they don't let me in, I'll be right outside waiting for you when you finish.
Producer man, how much time do we have? Because this is getting deep.
Yeah.
3 minutes? Okay, so I have another question.
Hold
for
on,
you.
I want to say one thing about my brother Manny.
Oh.
My brother Manny was, Manny's a retired cop. He goes, there isn't enough programs for mental health. When he was a cop, he was bitten by someone who had HIV and had mental issues. And thank God that he didn't. I guess he didn't break the skin or whatever and stuff like that. But that's the first time I hear of it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot out there, especially my brother was a cop for over 20 years, and you see a lot.
Yeah, there's not enough.
You see a lot,
There's not enough.
and you want to help, but being a cop, you can't get personally involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all you can do is steer him that way, and hopefully he does it.
So I guess my other question is, you being an advocate for the LGBT community, we know that the LGBT community has come a long way. Do you still see mental health issues with today's LGBT as opposed to when the elders who were up front in the front line fighting for the rights, who've suffered more trauma than, I don't want to say that they suffer more trauma than today's LGBT, but what is it that you would describe as mental health issues today with the LGBT community?
Well, I definitely think that our trans sisters and brothers face it the hardest, especially our black and brown trans brothers and sisters. Those who also identify, let's just say, as non-binary. They deal with almost every day of their lives. They have to worry about somebody, making fun of them and or not taking them seriously. A lot of them feel unseen, and they are. People treat them like they're not part of society.
They're
Or in
alone.
danger.
And it's
Loneliness.
and loneliness
They're alone.
and depression and anxiety. So absolutely, and this goes across the board for all people, especially
Yes.
since COVID-19. But so imagine if things got difficult for those who are not people of color, or those who don't have, let's just say, a disability, or those who are not gay, or those who are not part of any marginalized group, then how much harder is it going to really be for people in the LGBTQ community?
Yeah.
Because even myself, like I'm an educated individual, about to have my bachelor's in media communications and journalism. I could speak for myself. I know how to work my way around the system,
Right.
and yet I'm having a lot of problems.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that communities need to come together, share with each other what has helped them be better
Right.
and actually put the work.
Right.
Because people talk a lot on social media
Yeah.
and everybody wants to be on, but are you putting the groundwork? Are you getting down and dirty and really filling out those applications? Are you really helping somebody get housing?
Exactly.
Because these are the issues that exacerbate mental health issues. You're homeless. You ain't got no food. You got no support system.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Actually-
you know where you find the biggest advocates? The projects. They would do for you when we growing up. They would do for you. What it is, it's hidden.
Right.
We got to bring it out in the forefront.
Yeah.
We got to bring it out in the open.
All right, mi gente. So listen, anybody
Great
wants
show,
to get
great
in
show,
touch
man.
with Felipe, his information will be up. Felipe, thank you so much. I wish we had more time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We had
Pleasure.
so
we
much
gotta have
to
him
talk
again. We gotta
about.
have you again.
I would love it. I would
Yes,
love it.
yes.
I would
We'll
Yeah,
have you
so
again.
mi gente, next week tune in to El Latino Ruido. My name is Javier Luis,
Johnny Boricua Prince Dones.
and thank you to Felipe. Thank you.
Felipe
Yeah,
Maysonet.
that's right,
Yes, thank you very much.
We'll see you next week,
Learned a
people.
lot, learned a lot.